What is going on, guys, and welcome to Dota Chronicles. And today's video is going to be some tips on how to play carry Lone Druid. I think Lone Druid's in a really good spot right now in the meta. He's got a really solid win rate, and it's just a hero, especially in the lower MMR you go, that people aren't used to playing against, so they don't typically expect the pick. Usually you like to pick Lone Druid into the last phase so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, as this hero can be countered by quite a few heroes, but they're not currently very good in the meta, which helps Lone Druid scale much better without the fear. So typically you don't play Lone Druid into high burst heroes like Ancient Apparition or Necrophos, even Huskar. I've beaten Huskars before. It's just a very annoying matchup because if he is even on farm with you, the bear will just get obliterated, and with his inner fire he's just going to disarm your bear and you won't be able to heal. And the Ancient Apparition is pretty straightforward. It's being played mid a little bit sometimes. You definitely have to be careful for that if you are playing mid Lone Druid, but on Safelane you usually don't have to worry about an Ancient Apparition. But if it's a core one, it does so much damage to your bear and it cuts down your ability to heal from the bear, which is pretty much one of the most important things about the Lone Druid and what makes him so strong and very hard to kill. In the laning phase, I always recommend you guys save a skill point on your bear, as you can root, skill the bear again, and the root will refresh and you have the potential to hit the root twice in a row. If you're blessed by Gaben, you will get a double root, and it can potentially kill a lot of squishy supports or very squishy offlaners. You could definitely do this every single game. It's pretty much the way to go. It's kind of like the tech for Lone Druid. You definitely do it every single game, and one of these games it's going to win you the lane. Sometimes you won't get that double root, but regardless, it's not really going to impact you too much to save the skill point if you have the need to play a little bit more aggressive with your support. Always have a skill point in Savage Roar, at least one, just in case you get rotated on by mid lane or they rotate a couple other supports to try and kill you. Definitely have one of these points, especially if you really want to farm and you don't end up skilling ultimate. I end up skilling ultimate almost all the time just because I feel like without it you will be pressured out or killed very easily. His ultimate is super strong and makes him extremely tanky, plus the bear healing him makes him really immortal to some lineups that don't have a lot of control and burst. The item build I definitely recommend on this hero, I'm going to give you guys two item builds for the carry Lone Druid. So either you go Phase Boots, Mask of Madness, Desolator, Shard, and Assault Cuirass, or you can go Phase Boots, Radiance, Moon Shard, Shard, and then you can pretty much build whatever you want. You can also build your Basher. I mean, I love building Basher almost every game, but this is just pretty much the standard. Radiance is in a really good spot in the meta right now. It's very cheap. So for carry Lone Druid, it makes a lot of sense. But it also depends how your lanes are going. I feel like if you go Radiance on Lone Druid and you're losing every single lane, it just doesn't feel good and you won't be able to join fights as easily. As Radiance, even though it's a lot cheaper, it still takes a while to get it. On the Lone Druid, he's not the quickest farmer out there. His bear is strong, but if you go straight into Radiance and you don't build Maelstrom or anything like that, it's going to take you a little bit to get that item rolling. So I definitely recommend going for the first one. I love Mask of Madness Desolator. You can go Mask of Madness Maelstrom if you don't really need the Desolator, but Desolator is just such a good item because it's going to give you the stacks when you're killing heroes. So it's going to be a lot of extra damage on top of the Desolator. It helps you push towers, so if the game gets really tough, you can get an Aghanim Scepter and split push with the bear and get a lot of single pickoffs and not worry about your main druid dying, because you can just leave him in base. If your micro's really shitty, you can just leave your main druid in the base, split push with the bear. As with Scepter, you can do whatever you want and just keep summoning the bear over and over. I've had to get refreshers in the ultra late game and play him this way, where it's really easy for them to kill my druid, and I just end up getting the Scepter. I get Moonshard and just start split pushing to my heart's content pretty much, and it's very hard to deal with the Lone Druid split push if you don't have the proper lineup for it. Another thing you guys got to keep in mind is since Wraith bans double at 25 minutes, Lone Druid benefits very greatly from this, as you do get the 5 Wraith bands at 25 minutes because you share 20% armor with your bear, so it makes him extremely tanky and very hard to kill against physical lineups. Obviously, if they're playing a complete magic lineup and not very much physical, then you can definitely just get a BKB on the bear or on your main druid, depending on who's dying and who's getting controlled the most. If it's your bear who's getting controlled, put the BKB on the bear. If it's your main druid who they're targeting the most, put the BKB on the main druid. Whichever way, this hero's item builds can greatly fluctuate. His utility is there. He pushes towers like no other hero in the game. Extremely tanky, great team fighter, especially with Savage Roar, especially when you get the shard as well. It's just such a strong hero in the meta. I definitely recommend more players to pick up this hero. It's not very micro intensive. It's not like a Meepo or illusion carries, even though illusion carries are pretty simple to play, but Lone Druid's not very complicated to play. Just learn your matchups. Obviously, when you start playing your few games on Lone Druid, whether it's carry or mid, you will lose some games learning on what your matchups are and your current playstyle on how you want to play the Lone Druid. Not all of them are the same. I personally like to push towers as much as possible and not get involved in early fights unless I have to. If my team is getting run down, the Lone Druid can fight, especially with the Mask of Madness Deso build. You can come online at 15 minutes or less, depending on how farmed you are, but usually that is your timer. Usually you come online around 15 to 16 minutes. That is the timer you'd like to hit on carry or mid lane Lone Druid. You should go a little bit faster than that as you get a lot of solo farm, and not a lot of heroes can contest you. So just ban your ODs, ban your Necrophos, and these heroes that are just very pesky for the bear. But everything else you can pretty much itemize around and build your way out of really bad situations. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. A like would be much appreciated. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys think about Lone Druid. Have you guys played Lone Druid, or do you guys think it's a difficult hero to pick up? I'd definitely like to know in the comments. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.
I need you.